Hello everyone. Welcome to your online class of physics of class 7th. I hope you all will be fine. Students, in my previous video I was explaining you lesson number 3rd, that is energy. But as your unit tests are going to start from 17th August, so today we will revise lesson number 1, that is syllabus of your unit test. Okay, so let's revise lesson number 1, physical quantities and measurement. You have already learned this chapter, but we will revise this lesson very quickly. So students, you have already I have already explained you this lesson. So I think all of you know what is measurement. Measurement is a process of comparison of a given unknown quantity with a fixed known quantity of the same kind, that is called the unit. So what is measurement? Measurement is a process of comparison of a unknown quantity. Means suppose this is a known quantity, and by comparing it with a known quantity, that is a ruler, that is known as measurement. Means the process of comparing an unknown quantity with a fixed known quantity of the same kind, that is called a unit. So that is measurement. Now the magnitude of quantity is expressed as the number of times the unit is contained in the quantity multiplied by unit. Okay, then length. Length is the distance between 2 points, and its SI unit is meter. Mass is the quantity of matter contained in a body, and its SI unit is kilogram. Time is the interval of occurrence of an event. Its SI unit is second. Then temperature is a quantity which measures the hotness and coldness of a body, and its SI unit is Kelvin. You have already learned these terms in your previous class. In this chapter, we will see what is measurement of volume. So what is volume? The space occupied by an object is called its volume. All the solids, liquid and gases occupy space. Okay, so we can see this activity. What it is? Take a glass tumbler, paste a paper strip on it as shown in the figure. You can see in this figure a paper strip is pasted here. Now pour some water in the tumbler. Mark the level of water on the strip A. This is strip A. You have to mark the level of water. Take a piece of stone and tie it with a string. Means with the help of a string, just dip a piece of stone in this water, and then suspend this piece of stone inside the water in the tumbler. You will notice that the level of water will rise. Okay, and the level of water now is at B. Now it suggests that the piece of stone has displaced water equal to its volume. Means this stone that is in this water glass tumbler, so what it is, it occupies space according to its volume. Okay, so the water displays the water equal to its volume because it has occupied the space in water according to the volume. Okay, so this is volume. Means volume is what? Volume is the space occupied by an object. Understood? Now, if we say that a brick is bigger than a matchbox, we mean that the volume occupied by a brick is more than that occupied by a matchbox. Okay, means the volume occupied by a brick is more than the volume occupied by a matchbox. Okay, means the space occupied by this brick is more than the space occupied by this matchbox, and that is known as volume. Similarly, if we say that a class hall is bigger than a classroom, we mean that the volume of air in the empty hall is more than that in the empty classroom, and that is known as volume. Now the SI unit of volume is cubic meter, that is written as meter cube. And how we can define 1 cubic meter? 1 cubic meter is the volume of a cube with each side 1 meter. Means a cube with each side 1 meter, that is known as 1 cubic meter. And the other units of volume are centimeter cube. Now the relationship between meter cube and centimeter cube is 1 meter cube is equals to 10 raised to the power 6 centimeter cube. Okay, how you can calculate it is, we know that 1 meter cube is equals to 1 meter multiplied by 1 meter multiplied by 1 meter, and we know that 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeter. Therefore, 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeter into 100 centimeter into 100 centimeter. Therefore, 1 meter cube is equals to 10 raised to the power 6 centimeter cube. Now, the volume of liquid is generally expressed in liter. Okay. Now, the relationship between centimeter cube and liter. 1 liter is equals to 1000 centimeter cube, and 1 centimeter cube is equals to 1 milliliter. And milliliter, symbol for milliliter is small m and capital L. Now, do you know? You have to learn all these. Do you know also? You have to read it. Sometimes the word capacity is used to express the volume of a vessel or container. We often say that the capacity of water tank is 250 liter. Means instead of volume, we can also use capacity. This statement means that water tank can store a maximum volume of water equal to 250 liter. Means the space in the water tank is that much that it can hold 250 liter of water. Sometimes cubic decimeter is also used as a unit of volume, and 1 decimeter cube is equals to 1 liter. Third is cubic centimeter is also written as C.C. Okay. Now the vessels for measuring the volume of liquid. There are two vessels with the help of which we can measure the volume of a liquid. The first one is measuring cylinder and the other is measuring beaker. Measuring cylinder is a cylinder generally of area of cross section 10 centimeter square, made up of either glass or plastic. It is of length nearly 10 centimeter, graduated in centimeter cube, with its 0 mark at the bottom and 100 marks at the top. You can see here in the picture. On the next page, measuring cylinder. This is a picture of measuring cylinder. It is generally used in laboratories to measure the volume of liquids and also to find the volume of irregular objects by measuring the displacement of water or the liquid by the object. So it is used in the laboratories to measure the volume of a liquid and also the volume of an irregular object. Big measuring cylinders of volume 200 and 500 ml are also available. This is a measuring cylinder that is used by pharmacists to measure the liquid medicine. Okay. Now the second is measuring beaker. Means with the help of measuring beaker, we can measure a definite volume of liquid such as milk, oil, lubricating oil, etc. Thus they are available in different capacities such as 500 ml, 200 ml, 500 ml, okay, and 50 ml, 1000 ml also. The capacity of a beaker is marked on it. Means the capacity of the beaker is marked on the beaker. It is provided with a handle to hold it. Okay, so you can see the pictures of measuring beaker. Now measurement of volume of a liquid means how we can measure the volume using a measuring cylinder. Measuring cylinder is used in laboratory to measure the volume of a given liquid. For that, take a measuring cylinder. First you have to take a measuring cylinder, then wash it with water and dry it. First you have to wash it with water and you have to then dry it. Then place the measuring cylinder on a flat surface and then pour given liquid completely into the measuring cylinder gently so that no liquid splashes out of the cylinder. Then wait for some time till the liquid becomes stationary in the cylinder. You set the meniscus, that is, this is known as meniscus. Okay, this line. So meniscus of the liquid is curved when the liquid becomes stationary. Now you can read the level of liquid in the measuring cylinder by keeping your eye horizontally in line with the lower surface of liquid, as you can see in figure number 1.6. Okay. Now by using a measuring beaker means how you can measure the liquid with the help of a measuring beaker. A measuring beaker is used to measure a liquid, a fixed volume of liquid from a large volume. Means suppose there is milk in a bucket of that measures 500 ml. For this, you have to take out the 500 ml of milk from a bucket full of milk. For this, take a measuring beaker of capacity 500 ml and then wash it and dry it. Then you have to immerse that beaker well inside the liquid contained in milk contained in a bucket, so that the beaker gets completely filled in the milk. Means you have to dip the beaker, 500 ml beaker, in completely in this bucket full of milk, and then you have to take out that beaker. Take out the measuring beaker from the bucket gently so that no milk splashes out, and by this method you can take out the 500 ml milk. Now, measurement of volume of regular objects. Means now we will see how we can find out the volume of regular objects. Volume of regular objects is measured by finding its three dimension, that is length, breadth and height or radius, and then using the relations that are applicable. Means to find out the volume of cube, first we have to find out the means first we will see what is the side of that cube, and then by using this relation we can find out the volume of a cube. Volume of cubite can be found out by this relation, that is volume of cubite is equals to length, breadth into height. Then volume of sphere, 4 pi upon 3 into r cube. Then volume of cylinder, pi r square into h. Then volume of a cone, pi into r square into h, where pi is 3.14 into 22 upon 7. Now, measurement of volume of an irregular body. Means how we can find out the volume of an irregular body. The volume of a solid of irregular shape can be measured by using a measuring cylinder by the method of displacement of liquid. As I already told you that we can also find out the volume of irregular body by using a measuring cylinder. So now we will see how we can find out the volume of an irregular body using a measuring cylinder. Each body occupies a space equal to its own volume. This I already told you. What is volume? Volume is a space occupied by an object. Okay, so each body occupies a space equal to its volume. Therefore, if a body of irregular shape is immersed in a liquid, means if we will immerse an irregular body in a liquid, okay, it displaces the volume of liquid equal to its own volume so as to occupy the space of liquid. Means when we will immerse an irregular object in liquid, so what it will do, it will displace the water equal to its own volume. Okay, so now volume of a body of irregular shape equals to volume of liquid displaced by the body when it is immersed completely into the liquid. Now, to find the volume of displaced liquid, we note the initial level of water in the measuring cylinder and the level of liquid after immersing the given body, and then by finding out the difference between the final level and the initial level, we can find out the volume of the liquid displaced, which is equal to the volume of an irregular body. For this, you have to see this activity number 2. What you have done, you have taken 60 ml of water in a measuring cylinder. You can see here, this is a measuring cylinder and you have taken 60 ml of water. Now, when you immerse this stone in this cylinder, now the level of water rises to 80 milliliter. So, how you can find out the volume of this water displaced? By subtracting the final level and the initial level. So, the final level of water is 80 and the initial level of water is 60. So, by finding the difference between the two, we get 20 ml. This is the volume of water that is displaced by this stone, and that is equals to the volume of the stone. Therefore, we get the volume of stone 20 centimeter cube. Note, volume of an empty vessel like bottle can be found by filling it completely with water and then pouring the water in a clean measuring cylinder. Means if you want to find out the volume of empty vessel like a bottle, how you can find out? You have to fill that bottle completely with water and then pour that water in a measuring cylinder, and by this method you can find out the volume of an empty vessel like a bottle. Now, area. We have learned in class 6 that surface occupied by an object is called its area. Means a surface occupied. Suppose a book is kept on a table, then the surface occupied by this book, that is known as the area of the book. The SI unit of area is square meter. That is also written as meter square. And 1 meter square is equals to 1 meter into 1 meter. To express the area of a playground, a football field, a village or a town, square meter is a small unit. Therefore, the bigger unit of area are kilometer square or hectare or square decameter. 1 acre is the area of a square with each side 10 meter. Therefore, 1 acre is equals to 100 meter square. 1 hectare is the area of a square with each side 100 centimeter. Therefore, 1 hectare is equals to 10 raised to the power 4 meter square is equals to 100 acres. Then 1 square kilometer is equals to 10 raised to the power 6 meter square. These are the larger units of area, bigger units of area. Then on the other hand, to express the area small objects like pencil, rubber, etc., a square meter is very big unit. Okay, so how we can find out these area? By using the smaller units, that is square centimeter or square millimeter. Now the relationship between centimeter square and meter square is 1 centimeter square is equals to 10 raised to the power minus 4 meter square. 1 millimeter square is equals to 10 raised to the power minus 6 meter square. You have to learn all these relations. Okay, these relationship between these multiple and submultiple units of area. Because your means 50% of your question will come from inside the lesson and 50% of questions will come from the exercise part in your unit test. So you have to learn these relations and all the things you have to read it carefully. Now, measurement of area of regular objects. The area of a regular object can be found by measuring the two dimensions, that is the length and the breadth or the radius of the object. Using the relation area of a square is equals to square side is square, area of rectangle is equals to L into B, and area of circle is equals to pi r square. These all relations you have already learned. Now, surface area of a cylinder you can find by the formula 2 pi into r into L, and the surface area of a sphere is 4 pi into r square, where the value of pi is 22 upon 7 or 3.14. Now, how you can find the area of an irregular object? Area of an irregular object can be found out by using a graph paper. So for this, what you have to do? You have to take a graph paper and then you have to trace the shape of that irregular object on the graph paper, and then you have to find out count the number of complete squares and the number of incomplete squares, and then you have to add those number of complete squares and number of incomplete squares that are more than half, and then you can get the area of that irregular body. As you can see in this picture, number of complete is 4. So you have to write the number of complete square as 4, and number of incomplete squares are 1, 2, 3 and 4. Then you have to, these are more than half. Number of incomplete square that are more than half. So that is also 4, and then by adding these two quantities, you get the area of an irregular object. Okay. Now, so we have completed our lesson, means we have revised up to here. You have to read till here thoroughly so that it will be more clear to you, because as I told you earlier, 50% of the questions in your unit test will be from inside the chapter and 50% of questions from the exercise part. So you have to read it properly so it will be more clear to you, and further revision of the lesson we will complete in our next video. Thank you.